Hey everybody, it's Star. This is literally like the 11th take because I keep letting my health problems like brain fog and rabbit trails make me feel like I need to stop and restart. Pray with me that I get this one right. Okay. So this is my way of reaching out to Peter Monn, who I am subscribed to and I adore. I think he's funny and charismatic and just, he's awesome. I love watching him. He's just funny. And he has some very good points and I enjoy listening to him. So yesterday he did a video about some girl. Now, when I got on YouTube yesterday, at least 10 suggested videos popped up immediately, all about this girl who I have never heard of in my life. The first one that I watched was Here for the Tea, because I really did like Here for the Tea, but it seems here lately she's kind of, I'm not going to tell you what I think, but anyway, and then I watched Peter Monn's. And, why do I say that? Peter Monn. Just, it's Peter. I watched his video. And I commented. And I'm going to read my comment. And then I'll go through my points that I want to talk about. And this video is really me trying to reach out to Peter. Because I would love to have a conversation with him. I really would. My comment was, I have to ask this. Why do people come so hard for this? No, I don't think anyone should ever use that word. But when you have every rapper and people of color using this term, why is it not offensive? Why is it a totally fine word when they use it, and it's not derogatory? But if someone who is white says it in the exact same context, and not even directed at anyone, she becomes racist. Why don't you do a video about the derogatory words used against Native Americans, like Indian, Redskin, Injun, War Bonnet, Peace Pipe, or Squaw? Peter, I love your videos, but I really think that everyone is coming for this girl, who I've never heard of, way too hard. That was my first one. And I know I'm going to get a lot of hate comments. I'm open to anyone having a conversation with me in the comments. If you come for me and you are so ugly, I will just delete you. I have no need for that. But if you want to have a sincere and very real conversation, I'm all for it. And I'm really hoping to have a conversation with Peter. So my question is, again, why is it okay for a person of color to use that word, but not for a white person? You see, a Native American would never go up to another Native American and call him an Injun. They would never refer to another Native American's partner as a squaw. They would never refer to one of the Native American dancers who has his regalia on as having a war bonnet. And a peace pipe is not a peace pipe, it's a ceremonial pipe. Just like a war bonnet is actually a headdress, and it's something that's earned. It's a sign of the things that you've done, achievements. It's you would never have a Native American say that to one another. But you have people of color say it to other people of color. And you have rappers using it. And I don't understand the double standard. Either a word is ugly or it's acceptable. You cannot pick and choose what's okay for someone to say, but it's not okay for somebody else to say. I find that very double standard and it's not acceptable in my terms. Now, I think the word that was used was ugly, and again, I feel that nobody should use it. White, Asian, Hispanic, or a person of color. A word like that it's ugly. So, coming for her in the context that everybody has, calling her racist, is a bit unfair. For one, she didn't use it in a derogatory way. She was playing a virtual reality game, and she used it in the same context that people of color used it as homie. And it wasn't directed at anybody. It was towards the game. That being said, no, she should not have used it. But what I keep thinking is, in a society where words become trends, if you will, where, okay, this is funny, masturbation used to be masturbating or beating off, because that was a slang word that was created, or fapping. Now that's the new word for it. What's another one? I mean, fat. Fat used to mean a person was overweight. Now you have PHAT, fat, which means, I guess, good, awesome, whatever. So I just, in a society where that word is thrown around a lot by rappers who are influential, I can't help but wonder if maybe that's why it slipped out of her mouth, is because it's become a slang word. But apparently it's only a slang word that people of color are allowed to use, and that double standard makes me mad. It infuriates me. I don't think anybody should use it. And this is going to turn into kind of a rant, but videos that went out yesterday make me sad, because it furthers the divide that's being caused in America. This is my home. This is the place that I love. My father served for Vietnam. I had an uncle who served in Desert Storm. I have 3 cousins who, two Marines and an Army. My dad was a Marine. My uncle was a Marine. I have another uncle who was Air Force. My husband actually was in the Army, though he never actually saw any war. So this is a country that I was raised to love passionately. And then I see all this negativity. The media pushes this agenda that there's this divide, and they're brainwashing people. Brainwashing. I'm not saying that there are not racist people out there. Both people of color and white. Okay? There are people of color who are racist towards white people. Any kind of hate towards another pigmentation is racist. So, you've got people of color who are racist. You have Caucasians who are racist. But they are such a small part of what America is. But because the news puts it out there, it causes those small pockets to grow and grow and grow. I'm going to use as an example Hurricane Harvey. All the footage that came out from that, there was 2 that touched my heart, and I pray that everybody's seen them. There was a white man carrying a woman holding her child, her infant child, in her arms, and he was carrying her out of the floodwaters. This woman was Hispanic, I think. I believe she was Hispanic. And Then there was another picture that touched my heart, because there was this man who was a person of color, and he was carrying out 2 babies, one in each arm. Not baby, toddlers. And they were white. People didn't see color. You didn't have people driving miles and miles and miles come down there and bring their boats down to try and help. And when they would pull up to a place, go, "Whoop, you two can come on. You guys can't. Sorry, no people of color." You didn't have other people going up to people and going, "Oh, these two can come on. You can't. You're Caucasian." You had people saving people. That's what America is. And so when I get on YouTube and I see this girl's name and racist and blah, 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 blah. First off, this girl immediately, like the second the word was out of her mouth, she was like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe I said that." And then, immediately after it went viral, she apologized profusely over and over and over. And then people still made these videos. That's not right. People brought out their pitchforks and their torches to come for this girl. And that's unfair. That's extremely unfair. I'm not saying what she did was right, but I'm saying she apologized for it. Another thing that comes to mind here, and I know this is kind of off topic, but Charles Barkley just did a video, I think it was Charles Barkley, where he said, people of color have never really even given thought to any of these statues until the social media made an issue of it. They need to be focused on getting an education, living their life. These statues, good and bad, are put there to remind us of the times that we were amazing and prevailed and did good things. And they're also there to remind us of the bad things that we've done so that we don't do them again. You can't erase history. Destroying those statues keeps future generations from understanding what our country has been through. And then I ask, where does it stop? When is enough enough? The pyramids were built by slaves. Are you guys going to tear them down? The faces engraved on the mountain, are those going to be destroyed? Because that was Native American land that was taken from them. I get really frustrated because I see where we are in society today, and people want to use the word white privilege. There is privilege for everybody, okay? Everybody has the same chance in life to do good or do bad. Okay, I made mistakes in my past. I messed up a lot of chances. Okay? I'm sick. I live paycheck to paycheck. Sometimes I have to decide, do I want gas in the Jeep so my husband can get to work? Or do I want to buy groceries? That's not white privilege. Where's my white privilege? Please tell me. Where is my white privilege? I just got a prescription. The only medication that's worked for me for my migraines. Can't afford it. It cost me $200 a month for this medication. So I get to sit here with migraines that affect my vision and make it so that I can't stand to be around anybody. I have to shut myself in a dark hole. Where's my white privilege? Please tell me. Where is it? Everybody has the same ability. And then, in the past, horrible things were done. Slaves were owned. But something that I want to point out really quickly is that, and this is fact, okay? This is actual historical fact. So come for me if you want. But it's the truth, baby. The first slave owner in America was not only a black man, he went to court and demanded it. In 1654, it was time for Anthony to release John Kaser, a black indentured servant. Instead, Anthony told Kaser he was extending his time. Kaser left and became employed by the free white man, Robert Parker. Anthony Johnson sued Robert Parker in the Northampton court in 1654 and 1655. The court ruled that Anthony Johnson could hold John Kaser indefinitely. The court gave judicial sanction for blacks to own a slave of their own race. Thus, Kaser became the first permanent slave, and Johnson the first slave owner. Right there. So come for me. Slavery is bad. But when the first slave owner was black, why don't you guys talk about that? I also want to point out the fact that they say that we went over there and kidnapped them. No. Historically, the fact is that we went over there and we traded goods, and the African American people sold the lesser of their tribe in trade for the goods that we had, and they came to America. So I'm not justifying slavery. Please don't take it as that. What I'm saying is educate yourselves. Don't go into things without having some kind of knowledge. I also want to point out that these are things that were done long ago. There's no slaves now. Well, I'm not going to say that because I would have to educate myself on that a little bit. But there actually are no slaves in America. So, when I see a person of color going on and on about how they're owed, baby, nobody owes you anything. No injustice has been done to you. Okay? You are responsible for you. The injustice was done long ago. Long, long, long ago. Nobody owes you anything. I want to further point out that Native Americans, who were here first, if anybody has a right to be angry, it would be them. They had their land taken from them, and it's because the Native Americans felt that nobody could own this land. This land was for everybody. And then they had to be made actual Americans. They had to... How do you do that? How do you come into somebody's home and tell them you're not a citizen? That you have to be made a citizen in your home? That makes no sense to me, but it's an actual fact. Look it up. I would love to see people do more reading and less time out in the streets protesting about things that they know very little about. I would really like to have a conversation with Peter. I would like to see where he comes from, because he said that words have power, and I agree. They do. Words have a lot of power. My problem is the double standard. And so, Peter, if you do happen to see this, can we have a talk about the double standard? That's all. I love you guys, and I hope that whoever sees this will have an intellectual conversation with me, because I am always open to taking in new information and other people's perspectives. I really am. So I hope to see you guys in the comments below. And again, I ask you to come at me with respect, and I will give you respect. If you come at me in a negative way, I will not acknowledge you. I will delete the comment, and I will only allow room for people who have respect enough to have an open conversation. I'll see you guys later. Stay positive, and try and do good things in your life. And try and use your head and common sense when you do things.